I'd be embarrassed to sit it on the goal line.
Well, then don't go.
I'm not.
No, they're good seats. They're actually good seats.
As good as the Budweiser seats?
Not that much different.
Not that much different. Let's see. The Budweiser seats
difference in the
are on
Budweiser
the
seats-
50-yard line.
No, they're not. They're on the 25.
No, they ain't. Budweiser has 2 suites.
Oh,
they're actually on
the sit in the chump seat.
Well, it's because you're a chump.
Wow.
They're actually on the lower level, on the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
You got TV sets and beautiful women
those are
and
right
beer
before
and
us.
food and all that.
Well, they sell beer. That's what they do.
Budweiser gives it away.
Explain something to me. Who in their right mind
Okay, here we go.
would pay big money
Right.
for one of those suites below the field?
I don't understand those things. Have you been in one?
No, but I mean, I've been down to where
You got
know
people
where the Cowboys
blocking you
come
is what
through?
it looks like.
There's a bar down there where the Cowboys come through out of the
Right.
locker room and stuff, which is the same level as all those suites. You can't see shit from down there. Why would you ever pay money for one of those suites? I don't
Well,
get
I don't know.
Ask
I'd like
Budweiser.
to go in one.
Yeah. I mean, you can't see anything because you got players standing up all in front of you and photographers and, I mean, and you sure can't see. I mean, if a play happened and came out of bounds and almost ran into you, then you could almost see them.
Can almost see it.
Almost, if they're anywhere else, you can't see them at all.
Can't see it.
I don't get it.
Don't know.
Anyway, hey, I'm buzzing. Oh, there. I'm
So
So it was a good game. We won. We beat the Yankees.
beat them damn Yankees from
New York.
New York. This week we got them Philadelphia Yankees.
In Philadelphia.
Yeah, without Dez.
Yeah, that's going to be a little harder. We
Our
still
running
got
game-
Witten, though.
Our running game looked pretty good.
They were wearing him out. They ran him, seemed like every play. I mean, how many yards did he end up
Well,
with?
it
I didn't
wasn't
see the
just him.
stats.
It wasn't just Randall. It was also
Yeah, but they were running Randall more
they
than
were.
anybody else.
They were. But also that Darren McFadden looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then that other
All the running backs
back,
looked okay.
They looked good.
Yeah, they looked fine.
Did you see however much money they paid DeMarco Murray in Philadelphia? See how many yards he wound up with?
No. How many? 2?
No, hell no.
How many did you end up with?
9.
Really?
At the end
way
of-
more than 2.
At the end of the first half,
Yeah.
he was -4.
Holy crap. Well, that's what happens to those guys. You pay them all that money, and then they go to crap.
Well, we'll see this weekend against Dallas.
Yeah, I bet he's got a vendetta this
And, of course,
weekend.
one of our defensive end, Gregory, got hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, enough about football
How
talk.
about that Witten, though?
I love Jason Witten.
I kept thinking, throw it to Witten. And then one of Romo's interceptions, he threw it to Witten, but that was not Witten's fault. That was Romo. He threw it way behind Witten.
He did.
Way behind him.
He did.
So, anyway, Witten's the one that
Yeah, they said, I saw him, they said that was really the only bad pass Romo threw was that interception, but that was a bad pass.
yeah, oh, it's terrible.
He was behind him.
Yeah. So,
Have you ever played that fantasy football?
no, but I've been thinking about it.
You know what? Why don't you sign up, and I'll sign up with you. There's a girl. You remember a couple of years ago in Sturgis, I signed the leg of the girl that has that prosthetic leg?
Yeah.
She's my friend. Her name is Tina Yeager, and
Yeah.
she came down this past week,
All right.
and she was telling me, because they do it, you can play it, I think it's free, I'm not sure, on the NFL website.
Oh, really? Well, there's all kinds. Yahoo does it. I think Google does it. NFL. I mean, there's
But you get
thousands of them.
you draft your team,
Yeah.
and then you get your statistics automatically. Like when she was here, she was telling me that the only Cowboy player that she thought she had was Witten.
Right.
And I said that ought to be a good one. So I sent her a message after the game, and she said she got like 15 or 18 points just off of
Witten?
Jason Witten.
Yeah, because you get so many points if they catch something. You get so many points if they score a touchdown.
But I don't understand how all that works.
I
but
don't either.
if you want to get into it, I'll play.
Yeah, I'll try it.
I'd like to.
I want to do one of the ones where you can win like $10 million.
No, then you got to pay to get in.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How much you got to pay?
I don't know.
Well, let's check it out. I'll play.
We're not that smart to win.
I know. I've been
What are you
thinking
wearing, an
about
Arlen Ness shirt today?
it. Yeah,
Where's your Rick Fairless shirt?
in my closet.
Might want to get it
Actually,
out
the shirt that I had on at the Cowboy game
Right.
was that one that says Dallas Cowboys. It
Right.
says Strokers on the back.
Attaboy.
That's the one I wore to the Cowboy
Now
game.
you have to wear it this week, too. So good. It might have been the good luck. Might have been what put him over the top.
You think that was it? I think it was Witten. I might want to get me an 82 jersey is what I might want to do.
Don't wear that old pink Roy Williams jersey.
I'm not.
You still got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Give it to
It's
your
not
old lady.
pink.
It's pink.
It is not pink.
I wasn't even the one that pointed out that it was pink.
It's not pink. It's
You
white.
can say this and you can say that, but I still say that faggot shirt was pink.
It's not pink.
It
It's
was
white.
pink.
It's a solid white jersey.
Then your old lady washed it
Well,
with
she
some
might have
red socks.
She might have. Now,
'Cause
that might have
it's
happened.
pink.
If my old lady washed anything, that would be a possibility.
You know, you
She
can't
doesn't.
wash red with white.
Well, maybe that's what happened because I do my washing and I'm not that good at it.
You pinked it.
Okay, well, I might have.
So today on the show, we've got Matt Hotch.
Yeah?
First, we need to figure out next Wednesday, I'm gone. I got to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah?
Don't have to go.
Are you gone all weekend?
No, I'm back on Friday night because I have to do that air race on
Saturday.
Yeah, why don't you ride out there with me?
I might, depending on what's going on.
What was that?
I don't know. Did we blow up?
No, I can still hear me.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Why don't you ride out there with me? My buddy Dan Seidel that we built the Easy Rider chopper for,
Yeah.
he's going to ride out there.
Okay. No, I might, depending on what's going on. I'm going to be here this weekend because I'm coming to the baddest bagger
Right.
contest. I'm going to put my bagger in it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm in the 23 class.
Good.
I think there's going to be lots of 26s and lots of 30s.
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak into the 23s.
Probably not a whole lot of 23s.
Yeah.
So you want to do the show on Tuesday?
I'll have to look at my schedule. I've got it scheduled in for every Wednesday.
Well, I know, but I've got to pick my cousin up from the airport.
Let me just
and
look at my
me and
schedule,
her
and
and
we'll see.
Rand are going straight to Sayre,
No,
Oklahoma.
I can't do Tuesday. That's the day I have my board meetings.
Okay.
So I know I can't do Tuesday.
Well, we won't do a show next week then.
Well, we'll figure it out. Okay.
No show next Wednesday.
I might be able to do it late Tuesday afternoon.
Okay, I'm
So
fine
let me
with
figure that out.
Figure it out and let me know. But I'm going to try to get. I talked to Mike Ballard yesterday
Yeah,
from the Full Throttle Saloon. You know, it just burned down.
that's a shame.
And I'm going to try to get him on the show. If you let me know if we can do it next Tuesday or whenever.
I can let you know. I just got to look at my schedule when I get back.
So some of the people I'm going to ask to be on the show are Mike Ballard from the Full Throttle Saloon, Herschel Walker, my pal.
We need to get Herschel in here.
We do.
You know,
We can get Herschel in.
Herschel's such a nice guy.
He is. I'm going to call Billy Lane and see if I can get him in here. Who else do I need to get? Maybe I'll give Pam Anderson a call and see if I can get her in here.
Yeah, I don't
Topless.
think she'll come. I don't think she'll come. Hey,
Why?
although I did see on this thing that Smith gave us, she's not dating until after Christmas.
Well, here I am, Pam.
So I'm gonna try to eat better and get in shape and be ready for after Christmas.
You are in shape.
Yeah, I know. Round is a shape.
Round is a shape.
That's true.
Hey, let's call Matt Hotch.
You want to call him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look
the last
at my
time you
watch.
talked
It
to
was
Matt?
probably last. Did you say last year? Okay. Let me make sure I know how to do it.
Well, I'm sure you don't.
I'm sure I
Here,
don't.
I'll
I
turn
mean,
this on
I
while I'm waiting on
do.
you.
Okay, so I pull this off there.
Yeah.
I hit that. I hit that.
Good. I hear it.
I call that. Try not to talk over me or him this time.
How's that reunion going?
Okay, here we go. Which one's him?
Oh.
This one.
Hello.
Hey, Matt, Rick Fairless.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How are you, pal?
Not too bad. How about you?
I'm good. I got JoeT here with me. You remember my pal JoeT?
Yes, sir.
Remember
How
he's-
are you doing?
Good, Matt. How are you?
And
Not bad.
we got you live on the radio, Matt. And America wants to know what the hell is Matt Hotch up to?
That's right.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of working a little bit and still taking my time and, chilling with the kids,
Yeah, so
So I'm just-
you got those two kids, a boy and a girl, Ryder, and what's the girl's name?
Maddie.
Okay, and how old are they now? Ryder's got to be 10?
Yeah, he's almost 10. He's 9 now, and then my daughter's 7.
Well,
And
good.
I'm just kind of enjoying life and watching them grow up. And, I just wanted to be able to walk them to school every day, pick them up, and spend time with sports and dances and all that other happy stuff.
Right.
And, in my spare time, I, build a couple bikes here and there.
Now, you're still in Fullerton, right?
Yes, sir.
But you're not in that same orange plant or whatever we came and saw yet?
No, I got rid of my big building about I don't know, I think about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. And then when I kind of semi-retired when the kids were first born, and then, I spent a lot of time with the kids, and then, now that they're kind of in school, I started working again a couple years ago and actually taking in builds and stuff like that. I built a pretty cool bike, about a year and a half ago, and then I got a couple other ones coming down the pipe.
Right. Are you
so,
are you building part of the bagger craze? Are you part of that?
Kinda. I built a couple baggers. I've always enjoyed them. That's my bike of choice. I've always ridden because I enjoy touring. So, I built myself one again this year because I sold my bike when my son was born, and then, but the wife and I used to enjoy touring a lot. So, a couple years ago we started doing that again. So we actually just got back from a 4,700-mile trip. It's pretty cool.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
We go up to Montana and back. So a buddy of mine and usually go up we take a week to go up, and then the wife flies in, and then we take another week to come home.
Right.
Yeah. So we 2-lane roads. So we did 4,700 miles and only about 150 miles on the interstate. The rest of it's all 2-lane roads, and most of that's just leaving California.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually a lot of fun, and it's a nice little break.
Yep. So who watches your kids, Mama Hotch?
No, my wife's mom.
Okay.
And so it's actually been a lot of fun. I'm actually probably going to take my son on his first trip. Probably a 4-day trip here, probably in the next month or so.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He's been wanting to, get on the bike and go. So.
Now you got a bike for him now? Is he riding a dirt bike or something?
He's got a million things. For a while I collect old BMX bikes and a lot of old Schwinn's. So he's probably got both the kids, between both of them and me, probably 30 bicycles.
Oh, right.
And I've built go-karts and motorcycles and you name it, I built it over the years. So he's been riding since he was probably 4.
So he obviously enjoys riding.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he loves it. It's pretty cool to be able to spend time with your kids and build them all the cool stuff that you wanted when you were a kid.
Right.
What kind of bikes are you building now? You said you've got a couple of builds coming up or things. Are you building the Matt Hotch style or something new? Or you're always innovative?
Yeah, I did a couple baggers that are the high-end style, and then, all one-up parts. And, I'm doing one now that, I've posted some pictures of it on Instagram and stuff, but it's all steel body, all handmade body and handmade frame and all that happy stuff. And, a lot of the customers now are getting a little older, and I used to build them a chopper and a bagger, but now they just kind of want the bagger. And I still have some choppers. I've built a couple bobbers, and I got an old school retro type chopper that I'm going to be building this year for a customer. And that's pretty much it.
Do you see some of the building coming back a little bit, Matt?
Yeah, it's kind of like it was, in the early 90s. There's a million people doing it, but there's only a handful that do it right. So it takes a little bit of time for the consumer. It seems to be like, a new group of people kind of jumped in the industry, and there's a lot of crap out there, and it takes time to weed it out. And I see, the people understanding that, you have to spend a little bit more money to get a motorcycle that you can get on and ride, without breaking down,
right,
all the time.
Well, the stuff yours has always been is real kind of sleek and innovative and obviously one-off kind of things. And, it was not for the faint of heart. They were, like you said, a little more expensive, but you get what you pay for. So it was all hand done. It's really neat stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I enjoy doing. You know, the bikes are all built by me by hand. Nobody else really touches them, and you know, I'm able to take a lot of time, and you know, I dedicate a lot of time to it. You know, and it's what I think about every day. You know, until it's done.
And how long has it taken you to build a bike now, Matt? A year?
At least a year.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes sooner. You know, I built the last one, the bike that was called La Sancha. It was a Road King, and that one took about 9 months, and that was a lot of work. You know, to get it done in that 9 months, but it came out pretty cool.
Right.
You know, it was one of the first 32-inch bikes. You know.
Now, do you have that stuff on your Facebook page?
Yeah, there's some pictures of it on Facebook or Instagram. You know, I'm not really, I don't update like every day, you know, but
right.
There's some pictures on there for sure.
What about, do you still have a current website?
Yep. I mean, it's not current, but I think it's been updated about 6 years ago.
Right.
There's some stuff on there.
Was it Matt Hotch Designs? Is that it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what about Mama Hotch? How is Mama Hotch doing?
Yeah, the family's doing good. They're all, you know, enjoying retirement and, you know, motorhoming around and stuff like that.
And Pat's not working with you anymore?
No, he still is. He comes in every so often. You know, that's his like little getaway, is to come over here and sit at his computer and answer the phones and ship stuff out. So.
Right.
Yeah. So he's still here every day. You know, a few hours a day.
Does your wife work?
Nope. She dedicates her time, you know, to raising the kids, you know, and she goes to school and helps out in their classes and stuff like that. So she's always been the room mom for, you know, since they've been in school and stuff. So,
right.
You know, as parents, we dedicate a lot of time to the kids. So.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever?
What have you been up to?
Oh, you know what I'm seeing is, you know, I mean, it's no secret that the you know, like you said, a lot of people are in business now and getting into business now. Well, that's how it was, like you said, in the 90s, and then, you know, this last wave we had 7 or 8 years ago where the economy went south, it wiped out a lot of those guys.
Yes, sir.
And what I'm seeing is that the industry's starting to turn around, and you know, the bagger thing is a big help, you know, because like you said, the baby boomers and everybody's getting older, so that, you know, they're going to baggers and stuff. But you know, we would go, you know, because we service bikes and do, you know, it's a full-blown shop and we do all that. But in the last 6 or 7 years, we would only be actually building ground-up customs, maybe 2 or 3 a year. And so far this year, I think we've done 8.
Yeah.
Which is really good. And the cool thing is, they're choppers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's good to see the choppers, you know, still, and you know, I still love building those style of motorcycles also. But you know, I like the touring bikes also because, you know, it allows you to do a lot more with the sheet metal and stuff, you know, and it's not just like slinging Bondo and fiberglass everywhere, but actually creating something, you know, and it allows you, I guess, a bigger canvas.
Right. Well, you know how they have that baddest bagger competition, you know, that Withrow and them put on.
Yeah.
We're actually having it here at Strokers Dallas this weekend, this Saturday.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Yeah,
that's a good show.
Yeah, Dave's
awesome.
Dave's awesome, and Tony's awesome, and I've been talking to him for the last year or two about doing it in Dallas, and so this weekend we're going to do it.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, we actually had him come out to Laughlin. A friend of mine owns the Pioneer, and we kind of worked together and trying to build a pretty cool lot out there. So we actually brought him out last year.
And how was it?
We're going to bring him out. It was good. You know, it got rained out, but, you know, still a lot of people showed up. And, you know, every year the lot gets bigger. And, you know, out here that was like, you know, the big show to go to. And it was slowly died down, but we're trying to build it back up.
You know what what I see about the bagger thing that I don't like is, a bagger is a functional vehicle that you can
Yeah.
tour on.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are taking that and making a bagger into a bar hopper.
Yeah, there's a fine line, and there always has been. I mean, a lot of people say you can't ride them, but I finished my bike, which has a 26, and mine's kind of like a bike with parts that I had left over laying around. So mine's got like an Evo drivetrain, but it's basically based off like a '09 up chassis and bags and stuff like that. But I finished that bike and another customer's 30-inch bike, and basically the night before I left on that 4,700-mile trip, and the only problems that I had with both of them is I got a flat tire, and that's it.
That's not bad.
Well, you running the V rubber tires?
Well, it was a Harley tire. I just picked up something on the road, and then took it out. But the V rubbers are, we run them in the front.
Right.
But the Harley ones are, we run them in the back just because of the load rating and stuff. So.
Have you done anything with the new Indians? Have you built anything out of that?
No, nothing with the Indians. I just haven't had the opportunity to. Honestly, they're pretty ugly. They need a lot of work.
Yeah. They do. What about with Victory? Have you done any Victory stuff?
I always wanted to. When the Vision first came out, I've always wanted to kind of get my hands on one, but I just never had the opportunity to. We were in talks a few times, but just nothing ever came of it. I always loved Arlen's Vision, and
right.
we talked, a couple times, and him, Arlen and Corey stuff, but like I said, nothing really ever came of it.
Well, I can tell you that the Vision is the best touring bike on the market, bar none.
Oh yeah. I mean it was a beautiful bike because that's like I said, the style of riding that I love to do.
Right.
I don't like bar hopping and just cruising around town, especially around here nowadays with texting and all that other happy stuff. So.
Well, in California, you can't be on your cell phone and drive, can you?
Legally, no,
okay.
But it doesn't stop people from doing it. You know what I mean? And it's pretty gnarly out here with the traffic and the phones and all the other distractions to ride a motorcycle. It's like running the gauntlet.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just a matter of time before you do get hit if you ride it all the time.
I
mean, I ride maybe a few miles home and back to work, and I almost get hit 3 times at least.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. In Texas, you can still use your cell phone and drive, and I mean, it is dangerous as heck, man.
Oh yeah.
We don't like it.
Yep.
Well, you got any other big projects coming up that you want to promote or talk about, Matt?
No, just like I said, we're trying to bring the Laughlin River Run back up, and the casino owners are starting to be a little bit more involved and take, the promotion company and stuff is kind of lacking a little bit, but yeah, just that's pretty much it. I do a few shows a year, and we take the truck and trailer out. And we just finished Hollister. We were going to go up to Reno, but we decided against it.
So I saw something on your Facebook page a while back where you were somewhere with Aaron Green.
Yeah, that was up in Hollister.
Now what's that knucklehead up to? I heard he was in Oregon or somewhere growing dope.
No, he's just up there. I think he's got into boats and he's just laying low, building bikes and cars and boats and stuff like that. And you kind of, after the amount of time and effort that people like him and I put in, and you in the industry and touring and all that stuff, you kind of get burned out.
You do.
And a couple people drop out, and then it's just not the same going on the road anymore. You got a bunch of different kind of people out there now, where it's not the camaraderie where it used to be. So you kind of have to do your fake smile and walk around, where it used to be like, seeing old friends, just like you, I mean, I don't talk to you every day, but if I saw you,
yeah,
like you, time didn't pass,
Remember when we did that biker build off and we were out there on that in the desert and that dry lake bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
It was.
They made
beautiful time.
They made it look like it was hot as hell and it was cold as shit. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that guy
And then
had
riding through the mud. We hit the mud.
yeah. That guy they were following us with that helicopter, and it was like a Vietnam era helicopter. And then so, towards the end, I ran out there and I said, "Will you take me up in your helicopter?" And he said, "Yeah." And then I started running back, and then I ran back and I said, "Can my friend Matt go with us?" And he said, "Sure, come on." He took us up in that helicopter. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, yes, sir. That was a great ride. It was, a lot of great memories on that for sure.
Yeah, the rest of us that day were huddled up in the trailer trying to keep warm.
Yeah.
Matt, what was the name of that lake that we went to that was eerie looking and had that old casino on it that was closed down?
Salton
That
Sea.
was Salt.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a Salton Sea. Yeah. That was the Salton Sea.
But no fish or nothing live in that lake, isn't that right? Too much salt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much salt, and it's that particular area. A lot of people, we did the desert, the buggies and stuff with a buddy of mine, but it's a big riding area, and a lot of people go out there. It's close to Glamis or on the way to Glamis, and it's actually a pretty cool place to go. But it's kind of crazy to see the lake like that.
Yeah, it was different than anything I'd ever seen. But that whole experience that we had on there, that was that was a memory that I'll have the rest of my life, and it was cool as it could be to do that with you, buddy.
Yes, sir. I feel the same.
Yeah, I know we had a good time. Do you ever talk to Joe Martin anymore?
Every so often I'll talk to Joe. It's kind of the same thing. He moved to Austin and he's just cruising along. I heard might be doing another show, so I think that's
cool.
Coming up on Discovery, I think, or one of those channels.
Right.
So it'd be good to see him and back on TV.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure, but I saw a little blip somewhere that he was doing something. It's good to see people that, actually deserve to be on TV, and,
right.
I can't even watch half the shit nowadays.
No, I can't either. There's too much trash on TV nowadays.
Yeah, it's just, you see the good shows that, educate at least, and those ones fail, and the ones that just serve up a bunch of bullshit every day are the ones that last, and it's unfortunate to see that,
Well, I guess it's entertainment, and people like that mindless entertainment.
Yep. So you guys got any other shows coming up?
I go to the Lone Star Rally every. Oh, you mean TV stuff?
Yeah, TV stuff.
We got a couple of deals working. We actually are doing some stuff with a company that Herschel Walker is part of, and he's my good buddy. So, we've got some things working there, but nothing is intimate. Just. We always have something going on, something working, kind of a deal. But the TV thing is good and it's fun and all that. But as far as I'm in the motorcycle business, not the TV business, and I enjoy TV, and TV is good for business, but it's not.
You can only do one really good.
Yeah. It's not like unless you're hit the lottery like OCC did. It's not that big of a windfall.
Yeah, it's better to be on bikes and pay attention to your business.
Yeah. That's good. What do you guys see selling most out there? Just the used Harleys, or you guys selling a lot of new stuff? Aren't you a Victory Indian dealer?
No, not Indian. I wanted to be an Indian dealer, because we've been a Victory dealer for so long, and they wanted me to be an Indian dealer, but they came to me and they said, "Hey, why don't you build you a big place on the highway?" They want the Indian dealers to be these Taj Mahal shops, and I wouldn't do that. So they sent a team out here and they said, "Okay, rip this out, put in a wooden floor, put a facade on the front of the building," and I said, "Forget it, I'm not going to do all that."
Yeah,
but we do.
That's a pretty big investment.
It is,
for a new brand.
Yeah.
Well,
not really a new brand, but rebranded. How's that?
Yeah. Well, and it would have changed the whole environment here, where there's stuff everywhere and pictures and junk and just all kinds of things going on. I mean, it would have just changed the whole look of it, and it wouldn't have been the same place.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. Did they move it right next door to you, or what?
No, they're doing. You know who's basically getting in the Indian dealerships are the Harley shops, and there's I think 3 Indian dealers in Dallas, Fort Worth so far, and they're all 3 Harley dealers. They make them build a separate building, and a lot of the Harley dealers are a company called Ride Now, which
Right.
they own power sports dealerships all over the country. So they're opening up Indian dealerships everywhere. But it's
Yeah.
it's a corporate deal. It's all a money deal. And I'm not a big money guy, and I don't want to be a big money guy. I'm just a guy that loves motorcycles, and I love doing what I'm doing, and every day's a blessing to get to come to work.
Yeah, Matt, we talk about it all the time, Matt. Ricky and I both, and you probably do too. We miss the old days of where you'd go to a town, you'd go to Lafayette, Louisiana, or Timbuktu, Iowa, and you'd stop at the little Harley shop, and it was the guy that owned it, that started it, and he had 5 bikes in there, and it was kind of a little ratty place, and it had some character, and you buy one of his T-shirts, you talk to him for an hour, then you get on your bike and you ride to the next place. And now I can stop in one in Des Moines or stop in one in Fullerton. They all look the same.
They are the same. It was unfortunate. I forgot how many years ago. It's probably been 15 years ago that they started forcing them to, build basically, a new structure just for the clothing and apparel. And
Yeah.
and it's sad to see the dealerships, take away, discounts and, all of that stuff. They really limit the aftermarket guys buying Harley parts.
Well, they don't want us buying Harley parts.
Yeah, and you see their catalog slowly grow bigger and bigger with all the parts that the aftermarket, developed.
Yeah.
They just copied them, and it's kind of sad to see that. But
Well,
it's corporate.
it is. It's all corporate. To me, it's all corporate bullshit. And as much as I grew up loving Harleys and that whole deal,
Yeah.
Between me and you, I can't stand Harley corporate. They're a bunch of big fat pigs that's trying to force the little guys like me and you out.
Right.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's pretty nuts, the rules that they have to abide by. And you have to buy the stuff in a personal name. You can't buy it out of state. Especially here in California, we can't even buy to the EPA parts. You can't buy any performance stuff at all.
Really?
And trying to find it anywhere else, you can't buy it because they can't ship it to you because you're not in the zip code. And so you can't buy, certain cams, certain heads, certain parts. It's pretty nuts.
That's crazy.
When they came down with all that, they said that we had to buy from a Harley dealer within the closest Harley dealer. So they sent me the name and phone number to the closest Harley dealer, and I called him, and he knew who I was. I had no idea who he was. He knew who I was, and I said, I want to see about getting the deal on Harley parts, because we sell a lot of Harley parts. And he said something to the tune of, "What do you mean a deal? I'm not even sure I want to sell you Harley parts at retail."
Right. Yeah.
And I hung up on the guy. I'm not buying. We're buying Harley parts, but I'm not buying it from that asshole.
Yeah. That's the way it is. You basically have to pay retail and not make any money off the parts.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you remember how it was back before Big Dog and all them guys came along. It was in the mid '90s, early to mid '90s. You had to stand in line and get your name on a waiting list to buy a Harley.
Yeah.
And they were charging you. These guys in Dallas were charging $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 over MSRP.
Yeah.
And if you complain, they said, if you don't like it, get out of line, let them other guys in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I miss the days too. I mean, now, like you said, Harley's basically what I call ripping off other people's parts and stuff. They'll wait a while. I mean, but the old days of guys like you, Matt, and Ricky, I mean, inventing parts, whether it be gas caps or kickstands and stuff that you could bolt onto your Harley, they're trying to eliminate all that stuff. I mean, the little guy.
No, they did. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, it even gets to the point where if you put any aftermarket stuff on, it voids warranty and stuff,
Yeah.
unless it's a Screaming Eagle part or whatever's in their catalog. But I remember when their catalogs were, I mean, they were like really thin.
Yeah.
You know, but now they're huge catalogs, and you know, I mean, there's other, you know, builders and parts guys that have had all their stuff, you know, either copied or whatever, you know. In fact, I know some designers that do stuff for this industry, that do stuff for Harley, and, you know, they venture out and have, you know, those guys, you know, design their parts. It's pretty crazy.
Well, Harley's got they have always had a holier-than-thou attitude, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse. And what I see a lot of, Matt, that's been going on the last 10 years is a lot of car guys that have made a lot of money selling cars are opening Harley dealerships. You know, they're like, you know, hey, I'm 55 years old. I've been working my ass off. I'm going to buy me a Harley dealership and have some fun, you know. And they have that whole Harley's better than everybody else. And
and they're used to that mentality of being the car dealer. They're used to Chevrolet and Ford dictating everything, so they fit right in.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons. I mean, out there where you're at, Sonny Barger and a lot of those guys, they're riding victories.
Yeah.
And I read a deal where Sonny said, the reason I rode a Harley for all them years because it was either a Harley or a Honda.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, that we never had a choice before. Now that you have a choice, in one interview he did, he said, screw Harley. They've been trying to distance themselves from the club scene for 50 years. Why the hell do I want to support them?
All right.
Well, that is a big thing, is they forget who supported them in the bad years, you know, or even brought them to a level where they're at. And it's, you know, and the Harley's always been a platform where people can personalize it, and that's why I think it grew so much, you know, and it is the aftermarket, you know, that kind of grew that particular market. And it's sad to see them treat the people that helped them grow that market, you know, like nobody, you know.
Well, it's the almighty dollar. That's all they give a shit about, is that almighty dollar.
You get the bean counters in there, and you know it happens a lot. It happens in a lot of companies. So you lose the touch. You lose touch of reality, and you know, and but no.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this: when you went your 4,700 miles, how many Harley shops did you stop into?
Just one.
Okay.
Just one. Pikes Peak Harley Davidson. They put a new tire on for me.
You know, when we
For
travel,
$1 million.
we take at least one trip a year, and I've got a Victory that I ride that's customized, and it has a 26 on it, and I've ridden it all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
We never stop in the stinking Harley shops because they're all the same.
Yeah, they are. You know, it's sad to see it. You know, even. You know, and we stopped in our stop in Montana is out the Red Lodge, and the Beartooth Harley is just a T-shirt store.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to see that stuff, you know. But
it's not the same. And for all the young people listening to the show, that's not how it used to be. Harley shops used to be cool, and they were a lot like Strokers, where you came into it. It's a completely eclectic, different place that reflected the personality of their owner, and now they're all like a stinking Nordstrom's or something.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, it happened out here recently. You know, the Fullerton Harley. You know, the guy that's owned it forever just sold it, and now it's like L.A. Fullerton Harley. You know, and it's completely changed. You know, it's hard to see it, but you know, it's one of those necessary evils. You know, you do need the service stuff, and you do need certain parts, so you kind of have to bite the bullet sometimes. And, you know,
now we spend a lot of money with Harleys, you know, because we service thousands of them a year, and And
Yeah.
I tell my people, do not buy a stinking Harley part unless that's the only freaking option we have.
Right.
But
Right.
we still spend tens of thousands of dollars a year with those guys, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, they still need it. They break down all the time.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Hey, I was going to ask you, whatever happened to Puglisi? You ever talk to Mike anymore?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. He's doing well, and he's you know, he's always been, you know, kind of quote unquote independent. He had his own wealth, so he was.
Well, he's a big.
You know,
he's
the
a home
motorcycle
builder.
stuff. Yeah, the motorcycle stuff was always a hobby for him, and it was always amazing to see what he built out of a one-car garage. But he just built himself a new house. I saw him last year. I was up in New York and spent some time with him and his wife, and you know, he built this beautiful house and big garage, and he's actually building a '62 Impala right now. It's pretty gnarly.
Cool.
I think it'll be done for SEMA. It's pretty nuts, actually. So, yeah, he's doing well. You know, the home building's, you know, still keeping him busy. And,
Right.
you know, he's got some other business ventures going on. They're doing very well. So,
Well, tell him I said, hey, I've got a lot of respect for Mike. He's a great guy.
Talented guy.
oh, yeah, he always has been. I mean, he's been building bikes since the early 90s, you know, and Harley bikes.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many builders that are, a lot of kids today don't really know, that helped shape styles and stuff and inspire people like me when I was a kid. That, you know, it's pretty.
Yeah, the
pretty
Mike
nuts.
Puglisi's of the world, the Pat Kennedy's of the world, and some
Yeah.
people never even heard of them.
Yeah, they kind of just don't know, you know, and it's sad to see that stuff kind of go by the wayside, because a lot of people, that's a big problem that I do have with a lot of the guys today, is they're all have an attitude like they invented the wheel, you know. And,
Right.
you know, that stuff, it just goes in cycles, you know.
Yep.
There's a few innovators, you know, and then, you know, there's just different versions of it, you know.
We did, when I was set up in Sturgis, not this year, but last year, I was set up over kind of behind Victory and Indian, and 4th Street, I think it is, kind of dead ends, and we were right there next to 4th Street, so every day they had a different bike show there on that street, and
Right.
one day it was a bagger show, and they probably had 100 bikes in the show, and they had all them baggers lined up, and the difference was some had 26s, some had 30s. Other than that, they all looked the same. The paint jobs were different, but everything else looked the same.
Yeah, that's, you know, like, you know, there's a couple guys that did bag styles and stuff like that. Everybody just splashes it and does a different lick or body line and calls it their own, and
Yeah.
eventually it all kind of looks the same, you know. But, you know, it's cool to see the people in their garages build the bikes, you know, or a guy on his own doing it himself. You know, I always have respect for those people, but it's the people that, you know, just kind of bolt something together and say they built it, but they didn't really do anything. They don't even, you know, and even like, you know, the way they rake them, the way they do a lot of things, to me is very dangerous, you know. I mean, you're taking something that's not meant to handle those certain loads, and you're just, you know, not even putting it in a frame fixture or taking the motor out.
Right.
Well, that's
Learned how to weld yesterday, and you're welding Nexon, and people just don't realize that, you know, you're transferring load into something else that's not meant to hold that load, and so eventually you'll get some flex, or the handle's funny, or it'll break, or, you know, but they don't realize that, you know, you're building a motorcycle. It's your responsibility to build a motorcycle correctly, because it's somebody's life. You know, it's not like a car. You know, if something breaks, you got, you know, 3 other wheels to hold you up or something, you know. Or a motorcycle, it's catastrophic when something fails, you know.
Yeah, 80 miles an hour down the highway doesn't feel so good.
Yeah, you know, and you just kind of see the people just, you know, putting it out there, and oops, that didn't work. Let's do it different on this one, you know, rather than doing it right the first time, you know.
Yeah, everything's changed, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Well,
it
I
either.
mean, hopefully it'll, you know, correct itself like it always does, and, you know, people learn from their mistakes, hopefully. Some people do, and some people don't.
No, it will. It'll all correct itself. Well, Matt, I really appreciate you being on the show today, and
Yeah, it was my pleasure. It was great to catch up with you guys for sure.
yeah, it's awesome to talk to you, and I'll try to be a better friend and keep in touch more often.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, buddy. Well, tell your family I said hello.
All right, you too.
See you, Matt.
Have a good one.
Thanks,
All
Matt.
right,
See you,
bye-bye,
buddy.
guys.
Bye. That was
Matt Hotch.
the one and only
Yeah.
Matt Hotch, and he is, if you name the top 5 best bike builders in the world,
He's good.
he's one of them.
He's up there.
He's as good
And
as
like
you
you
get.
said, he builds. He touches everything.
He does.
It's with his hands,
Yeah.
and he puts it together and he builds it, and
That's one of the
work. And he's kind of a. I don't think he's got an engineering degree, but what he said there at the end is really right about Matt Hotch.
Right.
He knows where the loads are. He knows what's safe.
He knows what- it's
he's building
exactly
it
right.
right. So he's
and
a good guy.
he's a very innovative guy.
Yeah.
And he's a good human being. I mean, I admire the fact that he can, work part-time
Yeah.
and raise his kids.
Let me just, the last couple of interviews we've had two, Jesse and Matt. What's the common theme you're hearing about from these guys? We're doing it with ourselves. We're doing it ourselves. We're doing it with our hands. We're building good stuff. We're
Yeah.
not getting in a rush, and we're taking care of our family and kids.
Yeah.
That's the common theme between both those.
Well, your family's got to be a big, huge, important part, and I don't do very good at that. I'm one of these idiots that works 16 hours a day, but
it's important. Friends and family are important.
it is absolutely is.
And I'm happy for Matt. I think that's a great thing that he's doing.
The biker build off that he and I did, you went with us.
Yep.
That was one of the coolest things in my whole life, was spending
was
time with
fun.
Matt Hotch and his family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
going
because
on
his
that
mom was
ride.
there, his dad was there.
Great people, awesome people.
It was fun.
Yeah, so
Shivering in that
was-
trailer on that stupid lake bed was not that much fun. It was cold that day.
I know. I was the one on the bike. Remember, we wanted to wear jackets. And they wouldn't let
They
us.
said, no.
Wear jackets. So I said, can we at least wear long sleeve shirts?
Well, Matt alluded to it. Remember when he was taking across the day, they were taking these film. Remember, and he hit that.
That patch of mud.
You couldn't tell. And it was mud. And on that bike of his, he started slipping and sliding, held it up. It was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that was that was a cool deal. That was a very cool deal that we did.
Well, we rode the sand rails. We talked about that a week or so ago, riding those stupid sand rails. It was fun. I'm glad I did it. I don't want to go back and do it again.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go back there and do it again either.
That was fun.
I'd love to do the biker build off with him again, but the sand rails, not so much.
Yeah, not so good. Anyway, it was a good trip.
Yeah.
So what else we got? About time to get out of here.
Yeah.
It was a good week. Matt Hotch, the Cowboys won. What else we got?
The Rangers are in first place.
Pam Anderson is waiting on me till Christmas.
Let's see. I get her before. Write that down for me to get a hold of Pam Anderson before Christmas.
Hey, what's up with Jordan Spieth?
Well, he hadn't played. He's in like a little slump.
A slump? That's worse than a slump. He didn't even make the cuts.
We did like 2 in a row.
I know.
He's also won 2 majors this year too.
won 2 majors. Now he can't make the cut. He may be doing like Tiger, or he's probably doing like you. He's changing his swing. If you hit the ball, don't change it.
You know what a mental game golf is.
Oh, I know.
It's a freaking.
Well, we played Friday. We didn't play that. We played pretty good Friday, actually.
Yeah.
Played a shitty front nine.
Where
Not
did
a
we
bad
play?
magnet.
Where did we play?
Las Colinas.
Oh, yeah.
Your club.
Yeah, we played at my
Over in the
club.
ghetto.
Over in the
there.
ghetto, yeah.
You know, so
Over by my house. Yeah.
next time you're coming to my club, we're gonna play back.
Do you
in
see
my
how
club.
fast we played?
Well, we played like 4 hours.
3.5.
Was it?
We
Yeah.
played in 3.5 hours.
Well, if it hadn't been for that goofball in front of us, we could have played faster than that. We were waiting
know.
on him.
A little
then,
bit.
And then we stopped and looked at Mike's house and looked at his car.
I know, and we still played in 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, it don't take me and you long to play.
It does at Glen Eagles.
The only time it takes us a long time to play is we're looking for balls.
Now, you know what? I don't even really look for golf balls anymore unless I just happen.
You don't need any.
I know I don't need any. I got 3 55-gallon trash cans
You could
full
play
of golf balls.
a new ball, or let me
On
not a
every
new ball,
shot.
on every shot
for the
the
rest
next
of my
10
life.
and never run out of golf
Never
balls.
run out of golf balls.
What are you going to, I swear, those at the bottom have got to be smushed.
No, they're tougher than that.
I don't think so. I'd be interested to dump them all out and see if the bottom ones aren't.
You and Bundy come over and dump them all out.
No, well, Bundy might
You know
dump
how we
them
live
out.
on a hill? We let them roll
Roll
down
down?
that hill.
Yeah, there you go.
Get that UPS man coming,
Hey,
sliding
we
on
could
that
do that.
thing.
We could do that as a fundraiser. Take one ball and paint it red. Put it down in the deal. Take them all to the top of the hill, and dump them down. And everybody gets to guess when the red ball crosses the line or something, and do a charity thing.
Or we could put paint like
Or everybody pick a ball, write their name on it, and see who wins the race down the hill.
the guy on
Like the
top.
duck race,
The
like the
guys
duck
on
race.
the duck race we went to that time.
Yeah. Okay, I got to get out of here. I got to go to work.
Okay,
Some of us don't get to sit around and watch
play
the
some
three
exit
stooges.
music, please.
There we go.
This has been. When are you going to get rid of that cough? You
I'm
coughed
taking-
right into the microphone.
I did not. I covered
You're an
my mouth.
inconsiderate asshole.
I'm taking antibiotics now. I started taking them yesterday.
You're going to have to lay off that hard liquor then.
I
These
guess so.
antibiotics.
I may get me a bottle of tequila and go around my. What is that?
I don't know. Bessler. This has been the Rick and Joe T. Dum Ass Club coming to you live from almost downtown Dallas. The Baddest Bagger Show, like I said, is this weekend, this Saturday. Go to my website, strokersdallas.com.
Yeah.
Sign up to be a member, you cheap ass. Be a member. See the show. You'll see bikes you ain't never seen before. If you're in the area, come down and see us.
Yep.
I'll be that ugly devil walking around with a tie-dye shirt with my fat sister with me.
I'll be here. I'll be here on Saturday. I'm coming up.
Good.